Yeah, cool. Hey, I forgot they corrected the text here. Okay, cool. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to Game Time with Kit. And the time has finally come. And I'm gonna type in the legendary name. Because to be honest, I've already beaten Zelda 1 once, which is in fact why all three of these have swords next to them, I do believe. I have actually beaten the original Legend of Zelda before, so because these are only one part series, there's absolutely no reason for me to bother. Like, replaying Zelda 1. Like, so we're gonna start the second quest. Because I hate myself and I actually want to restart it. So, the best way of playing this game, naturally, is to try and acquire as many rupees as you can, as early as you can. So, Zelda 1 came with a map, but I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother using one. I'm also not going to bother picking up anything before we go into our first dungeon. Despite the fact that I clearly need help. Like, it's fine. As long as we get as close to the, well, that could happen. Yep, that makes more sense. That's just me sucking. Don't worry. Like, I would try and get at least a candle before going into level 1. But like, if you're seeing how I'm playing today, like, you know. Hey, it's the fairy sprite that they totally just reuse in Zelda 2. It's still so weird to me that they turned Link into a fairy there. Like a full-on, like, traditional sprite-like fairy. And by sprite, I obviously am referring to the annoying version of Tinkerbell that you can find in the cartoon. I say annoying because of the amount of times she cock blocks Link just because she wants him all to herself. But like, yeah, joy. We're being more harassed by the monsters of this game than usual. I don't believe I've ever even gone into a dungeon of this game. As you can see, very different layout. No key. To be honest, that might be for the best. So welcome to the Eagle. But we're going to have to beat it no matter how difficult things get. I need them to stay put a minute. Oh, great timing. Boomerang obtained. So, what's in store for us now? I also typically try and get my hands on some bombs. Like... Ugh. So yeah, we have to contend with a lot here. Ooh, bombs. I fucking despise this game at times, I'm sorry. I know that's unfair to say, but like, it is frustrating. Also, nice. Are they gargoyles or what? The fact that the game can't even give me a break, like, and has to fucking make sure that I have taken damage by the time. You see, this is why I do this. I think it's going to be a death per room, to be honest. Okay. Compass. Now I just need a dungeon map, really. Oh, thank God. I'm actually finding it more insufferable than Zelda 2 at the minute. Like, I get past to one route that was like properly bothering me. I don't care about beating them, I just need to get past them. You fucking imbeciles. How dare you touch me? How dare they presume that they can even touch me? Okay, I was right. We need to be really, really careful. Just go. Don't wait around. Okay. No, go away. What? No. Get where I can fucking kill you. Okay. Clearly we need bombs in this dungeon. Which we already have plenty of. Okay, we need to... Out of curiosity, let the spike, let the traps go past us. And then... So, there'll be another way of getting in. I probably shouldn't have let myself nearly get hit then. The good news is we do have... There we go. Dig Dogger? No, Dodonga, sorry. One too many. E. 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 Oh yeah, because the maps spell out Zelda. E. 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 I'm very funny, as you can tell. Okay. This is why bombs are going to be incredibly helpful. What? That's usually the only way that happens. I'm very confused. Which, don't get me wrong, is a very normal emotion to feel playing the original Legend of Zelda. But I'm usually okay until I get out of the eagle. I took 2 hearts of damage from that attempt. The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. Okay, so I really need to start paying more attention to it. Oh, there's stairs. That's why. And that's why you get them in this room. Up. Stairs. And keys. That's always great. Bloody hell. Wouldn't have thought that would have happened, but... Okay, so... here we go. Something tells me that's important. Oh, fuck. How am I supposed to handle this with these lot coming around? Actually, I had a little theory. I had a theory. But I am going to try everything I can to... Okay. So, my theory is this. The original game didn't really take advantage of the fact you could buy a key. From my memory. Like, you can buy keys from the shop in this game. That's a very unusual thing for a game not to take advantage of. But, perhaps in the second quest, which I'd imagine they, at least to some degree, factor into account the second quest when developing the first quest as well. But that fact is, you know, I reckon that there's some relevance to that. And hey, we're doing good. We're doing brilliantly, even. See what's what. Or we could die. Death is good. But yeah, so second quest is honestly like it's legendary how frustrating this can get. And don't get me wrong, I'm completely aware of how frustrating second quests can be. After all, I spent years trying to figure out Ocarina's Master Quest. Okay, we need 60 more rupees or so. Which, I thought that'd be part of why they were giving us rupees in. In fact, I don't know why I'm acting like it's been debunked. They didn't give us enough rupees, but they did give us rupees for a reason. This is going to be a quest that tests our skills a whole lot more, including our memories. More specifically, first of all, heart pieces are going to be a must this time. And I'm not sure I'm accurate here, but I think that they're... Okay. She's going to just sit there staring creepily. Honestly though, like, the original... like... The original Legend of Zelda is a very inspirational game. I've just shaded that in the recording of the other video that's going live around this time that I'm filming. I'm trying to get like a backlog of videos to upload. I could buy more bombs, I'm not going to. I'm mostly out. Okay, yeah, sure. I don't think we're going to get all the way through the first dungeon. Let's go right. Interesting. You need the power bracelet to move those rocks, which is always interesting. I'm actually praying for the sword at this point. At the very least, a white sword. Yeah, we can't move it. I don't know why I was even, like, walking up against it. I know we can't move it. Come on, Tektite. Come and get me. Just the look of that Tektite is just so done with your shit. Like... We're gonna die a lot here. I want that to be clear. Like... We're pretty much dying every couple of minutes. But it'll be worth it once we're done. My mastery of this series, it requires me to beat this specific quest. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but like, in order to beat the ultimate authority on Zelda, I need to be able to beat every single Zelda game. Which is why I'm playing Zelda 2 now, which is why I'm playing the second quest. And which is why I'll be playing... I'm aware that I left that sentence midway through. Dang it. The idea is that, like, I might occasionally pick up these series. Ultimately, it won't be anytime soon because I don't have time to do full series. These are like pilot episodes for when I do have time. Because until we are way too close to Tears of the Kingdom's release, I have a lot of work to get done for university. So I'm doing this now as kind of like way of having a backlog of videos so that I don't have to worry about it so much, because I am trying to get things back on track here. A long time ago I made a promise that I shouldn't have regarding the channel to the one person that cares. And the biggest problem is, I don't actually want to follow through. Nobody with sound mind does. And do you know why? Because the promise I made was stupid and reckless and irresponsible. And not really something that will be particularly enjoyable beyond a couple of things. You see, I don't hate play games. Games are bad in a whole different way to how movies are bad. Games are bad in a way that movies can only dream of being bad. A typically, like, terrible movie isn't really a slog to get through. Like, in the way that most quote-unquote bad movies are bad, you can still get a kick out of watching them and finding them ridiculous. I don't believe in objectively bad, but, like, that is the description I've been given by people that believe there's a difference between objectivity and subjectivity when it comes to opinions on movies. A film can't objectively be good or bad, but, like, if it could, then this is the distinction between movies and games. A movie being bad means you can probably sit and laugh. A game being bad, Lionels are always going to be the death of me no matter what I do, aren't they? I've become very well acquainted with the game over music in this game over the years. Having said that, we do have the amount of rupees we need. As great as a candle would be, we need to focus on this right now. But yeah, so when a movie is bad, like, you can usually still get a good kick out of it, like. But when a game is bad, sure, like, watching a gameplay series of a bad game can be very entertaining. Playing a bad game, however, first of all, I believe that a game can be objectively bad quite easily. It's because I think a story can work even if it technically doesn't. Whereas, if a game is broken, it's broken. There is no redeeming a broken game, aside from maybe the glitches being enjoyable, but it can make getting from A to B in the game quite challenging, implies there's any joy to be had in beating it. my point is, there's not much of a difference between good and bad in movies, in my opinion. Like, the worst crime a movie can commit is being boring, and let me tell you, having seen a lot of movies that have come out in the last few years, they are very rarely boring. Even if they're occasionally a little ridiculous. Like, most movies are at least entertaining, and that's all the movie really needs to be. Like, entertaining. It's like people going into the Mario movie and being like, oh, this isn't complex enough. When Mario gets complex, Mario gets shit, in my experience. Not Galaxy. Galaxy is the exception to that rule. But, like, complex is not something that one thinks about when it comes to Mario. And, to be honest, why would you? Levers can be so frustrating. But yeah, complexity isn't really important when it comes to Mario. So when people went and saw the Mario movie and were like, it's not complex enough, I have to sigh a little bit, because I have like a couple of rules for like discussing media, and one of the big, most important rules that I think everybody should live by is you shouldn't go into a film wanting to find problems with it. You shouldn't. You should approach your own work like that, because that's different. But you shouldn't be going into like a movie that you go and watch at the cinemas for whatever reason. You shouldn't be looking for fault with it. Why? Because, first of all, it makes you a pretentious know-it-all. There's somebody that really doesn't like pretentious know-it-alls. Just don't do it. Like, it makes you insufferable to the vast majority of normal people. And this is why I'm not overly fond of film students. Because they are the worst for it. It's like, they... the biggest problem with film students is they have a bit of a tendency to see a reference to another property and automatically just go, well, that's bad then. It should stand on its own. This is getting tedious. First of all, a film referencing something else and cameoing does not mean, like, having a cameo from an actor or a character doesn't necessarily mean it's not standing on its own. Second of all, like, this idea that something needs to stand on its own to be actually good is a very recent idea. And actually, this kind of follows along from what I was saying in A Link to the Past, which should have been uploaded like the day before this, depending on when I actually get around to uploading this, as it has to be timed around the Majora uploads, and with any luck, there'll be a Breath of the Wild upload at some point, because I kind of abandoned the save. Like, I've flat out been playing a different save file to the one that's on the videos. Don't worry, I haven't erased this one by accident like I did the Master Mode one. But funnily enough, it is Master Mode I've been playing. I've been beating some of the content on my Switch, which, as you can see, I've been filming from. Oh, good God. I'm sorry, I had to. I'm getting frustrated. We aren't going beyond this dungeon, we're just not. We've already basically had the warning sign that I need to stop sooner rather than later. But yeah, like, you know, it's like, ever since Rise of Skywalker released, there's been discussions about something called nostalgia baiting, which I don't really think is a problem at all. But cynical weirdos on the internet, such as a certain YouTuber that I don't like, a certain YouTuber that I've been very vocal over the years, both on and off of YouTube. See, that is what this game does to me. That's shit. You shouldn't ever make that a thing that happens in your game. You either have these fuckers with the boomerangs, Gorias, I believe they're called, or you have shooty things. You don't have both. You never have both. And it's like, a little bit of difficulty never hurt anyone. No, I'm always saying that, like, but that's not a little bit of difficulty, that's actively bullshit. And the moment your game becomes bullshit, you redesign it on the spot. Like, you don't ever, your game is never supposed to be bullshit. It should always be fun to every player that plays it, that likes the genre. Like I say, those four gargoyles that shoot at you shouldn't be there. They just shouldn't. I'm fighting blue Gorias, so nothing else should be in that room. And yet, I get the feeling that you're not really supposed to go straight to the first dungeon here, based on the fact that, like, I didn't have the rupees. But I also know that Nintendo in the 80s did not design things to be user-friendly. Like, so there's every possibility that I did intend for players to come straight here. Still. Fuck this quest. It's not well designed in the slightest. Like, it's really shit. Like, and there's a lot of this in the original Zelda. Like, this is an active problem I find with the game. Too much going on any one screen. Too much for your average player to deal with. Too much for any player to really deal with. Like, yeah, you've got frame perfect players who spend years perfecting their craft. But, for the most part, like, no one's going to find this fun. I actually think I've heard it said that the second quest is just shit from a lot of people. Like, it's a neat little addition, but, like, that actually wasn't that hard. I mostly did that for dramatic effect then. But, like, if you can see what I mean, like, it's needlessly frustrating, this quest is. And I don't think that they should have... I think that they should have thought twice before including it at all. Like, as it is. I do think a second quest was necessary. Like, it's an NES game, so it. Well, I don't think it was necessary, but I think it's nice I added a second quest. But this isn't. It's a pretty badly designed second quest. This is bullshit in every way, and I hope that they felt bad when they released this, because it breaks every design philosophy I have. I've always said that, like, your average player shouldn't be failing more than, like, 3 times. If you want to retain your players, and if your average player is failing that often, then your game becomes tedious. And to be fair, this isn't for your average player. It's a second quest mode in 1986 for people that beat the original game and wanted an extra challenge. But NES games are all full of bullshit like this. And the funny thing is, I think that, like, the game has a very nice visual style. Like, Link's original sprite is pretty cool. Why are you not... Gonna start smashing things in a sec. I'm joking, I really am. Like, I'm not that sort of person. It's... And you can tell how abrupt it is whenever I even say something like that. Okay. This is the most frustrating thing that, like, I could possibly be doing with my night, though. Well, it's not. Although I was making more progress with Zelda 2 than this. I quit. I quit, absolutely. We're done. 22 deaths. 22 deaths. It's not going to happen. It's just not. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.